What is up, y'all? Today we are continuing our series of going over the top Pokemon cards to collect and invest, and we're continuing our starter Pokemon. And today we are on Venusaur. Now, Venusaur, honestly, he's kind of a tough one because I think a lot of the cards that are drawn for him just do not look good. They do not do him justice, and it was kind of easy to pick through Venusaur's cards because I feel like it's pretty obvious which ones are the good ones and which ones just do not look good. For whatever reason, Venusaur just doesn't get the same kind of love. A lot of his good cards are actually ones that aren't Venusaur. They're ones where he's fighting other Pokemon, which is funny. So I don't know what's going on over at Pokemon, but they need to show some more love to Venusaur. But so these are going to be in order from 10 to our number one. And in our number 10 spot, I know this might be a little controversial, but I put in base set Venusaur. To be honest, I wasn't even going to put him in my top 10, but I have to show respect to the base set Pokemon. So Venusaur barely squeaked it in. I just think this card and this drawing looks so bad. I love the artist that drew it, but man, this just got like that quadruple chin going on. It's pretty rough, but still cool. Near mint, you're looking at 300 and damage. You can pick them up in the 20s, 30s, but those are definitely going to be banged up cards. So really cool though. It's one of those where if you're into the vintage, it's definitely worth picking up. I would love to have it, but definitely at some point I'll pick up the celebrations one, and we'll see with the 30th. As we get closer and closer, it's looking like we could get maybe a full art style of those OG ones, but we'll just have to wait and see in the next few months. And in ninth here, we have the Venusaur from Expedition. Um, the art isn't crazy, but the e-reader era, it's pretty popular, so I think it was definitely worth putting in the top 10. And um, this one's pretty cheap, $30, and it could be anywhere from $12 to $14. So pretty cool one. The era is well loved and pretty popular, so can't go wrong with this one. Uh, the next one is Dark Venusaur, and I didn't realize there was a Dark Venusaur for the longest time, but this one is a promo, and it's also from the e-reader era, so pretty cool. The dark Pokemon are always really sweet, and where we didn't get those in the Destined Rivals set, it was pretty disappointing. So I think it kind of drives up that value even more for just any of the dark Pokemon, just because now they're even more unique, and we might never actually see those again. But near mint, you're looking almost 170, and you can find some lightly played ones for under that, but pretty cool. Really like that one. Next up is the Radiant Venusaur from Pokemon Go, and obviously with it being shiny, that's sweet, and the background with it being pink flowers just really pops out and it looks cool. The Pokemon Go sticker there isn't terrible, but it's not great. I don't love that, but super cheap, $7. Nothing too crazy there. So it's definitely one that I think is worth picking up. It looks really cool, and it's actually drawn really nice. I think it actually looks like Venusaur, so that's definitely a plus. For whatever reason, they just like to draw Venusaur looking all sorts of goofy. Our next one up is Venusaur and Snivy from Cosmic Eclipse. The tag team cards are definitely, I think, where Venusaur shines. It almost looks like he's throwing Snivy, and then they're almost like in a battle together. So pretty cool. This is just your standard rare card from the set. So 25 near mint, not too bad, and a lot of them are very cheap. So I think that's a great one to pick up for the collection. You might not get a ton of value investing into it, but you never know. This era was kind of short printed, so at some point it could dry up and you could end up making a decent amount at some point, selling or trading into something else. The next one is our Venusaur VMAX, and I don't super love most of the VMAX cards, but I actually think this one looks kind of hard. Like Venusaur, Mega Venusaur is, or not Mega, the Dynamax and the Gmax Pokemon, they don't really fit on the card super well. But this one, I think it works. Kind of shows more of Venusaur's face. So pretty sweet, and having it be the full card is always nice. You get more of the picture on there, but 25, not too bad. So definitely one that I think's worth picking up for the collection and could become popular more later in time. Want some of the kids that played Sword and Shield grow up and they want to grab the cards they weren't able to. And then next up is our Celebi and Venusaur from Tag Team. This one's actually further up. It's $100, and it's really cool having the mythical Pokemon like Celebi in the Tag Team with Venusaur. So it's kind of cute. They're like holding hands, but cool card. This one's definitely can be pricey at the near mint, and definitely look to pick up as many tag teams as you can now before a lot of these prices start to get more and more out of control as some of the older sets start to run up here. And the next one is the promo of Celebi and Venusaur. This one's actually a little bit less, so there must be a lot floating around, but this one just looks so cool. I love it. It looks like Venusaur was about to attack Celebi, and then Celebi calmed him down, and now they're besties. But it's pretty cool art, and I think it shows a lot of Venusaur's personality that you don't get to see a lot of. So really cool. And damaged ones, and obviously you're putting that in your binder, pretty cheap, $18. Now we're getting to our number 2 spot. That's Erica's Venusaur, and this one's super cool. I don't know why he's hanging off a card like that, but still really cool. It's a classic. Damaged, you can find these, 36, not too bad. So I'm always surprised with some of these vintage cards, how cheap you can find some of them. And so obviously the unlimited, but really cool. I love this Venusaur. And in our number 1 spot is the promo. And this one, kind of like the Blastoise, to me it just kind of captures what Pokemon was to me as a kid growing up. And Venusaur is looking super aggressive there, and really love that. And that older foil on it is sweet. Got like a little sun one there. It's really cool. And 75 for damage, and I'm sure these are just hard to find. I mean, even these heavily played ones are up in the hundreds. So really cool one. So that one made my top spot. A lot of promos for Venusaur. So I hope at some point we get some more cooler Venusaur art so we can revisit this and we can kind of dethrone some of these other Venusaurs. And we put it in here to our Rate Your Pokemon cards little list, and it actually looks pretty good. I think we found some of the better Venusaur cards, even though I think he definitely deserves better. And we'll go through and we'll rate some of these. We got him definitely a 5. That one's definitely a 5. Say this one's a 5. We'll start to tick it down a little bit. 4.5. This is probably where it kind of it's a little lower. 4. That one's 4. And it's really fun to be able to come through here as a community and rate these cards and kind of get an idea of what other collectors are thinking and kind of get a vibe check on um, what other collectors think about these cards. And it's really fun. You can also go through and where is it? There's a feature you can. Oh man, I need to play around with this more. But you can find random cards. It'll pop up, and yeah, you can come through, rate these 23 ratings. So really cool. And hopefully you guys hop on here, find Pokey Lambo, and you can heart it, or you can bomb some of those ratings on the Pokemon that you don't think deserve the ratings that I gave them. And appreciate you guys watching, and let me know what Venusaur you think deserves the top spot. If maybe Erica should be higher, or maybe Selby and the Venusaur, or maybe I missed one that should be on this list. And appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you guys next week. And we just finished up our starter Pokemon, so next week's going to be a surprise of what Pokemon cards we rate next. So appreciate it. You guys have a great week. Peace.